Now let's just switch over to Dibond. As you can see here, I have a nice board of Dibond I can position on my bed here. Now for Dibond, we cannot use the same router bit. Well, you can, but the problem is the router bit I have is quite long. So you have a lot of router bits exposed, and this will not be the best for your finish. Your router could vibrate slightly. But on the other hand, this is a multi-purpose router bit installed here. So multi-purpose meaning I can do a lot of types of materials. Now the drawback of using a multi-purpose is the wear on the tool. Now if you look at the wear on the tool, if you use a multi-purpose for Dibond, then the wear all of a sudden will be a lot higher. So if I go back to PVC with that same router bit, you will notice that the quality in your PVC in the long run, not immediately, but after, let's say, if you do 10 of these boards and then go back to PVC, you might see a difference in quality. Most people will not notice this. Some will definitely look at this as being very, very, very annoying. However, if you were to use a multi-purpose specifically for Dibond and a multi-purpose specifically for PVC, this will never happen. But on the other hand, if we look at the range of router bits that we offer, the ones that we offer do have CT bits. So CT stands for coated bits. Coated bits generally last a lot longer when cutting very abrasive materials. Aluminum is very abrasive for cutting edges. Those CT bits, coated bits, will reduce the friction by about 60%. Now, 60% is quite a big deal, and it will definitely increase the lifetime. Now, going back to my machine here, I'm just going to replace my router bit. This is easily done by pressing my module and pressing change bit in access control. So access control is the controlling software. It will nicely bring my router forwards, and I can easily lift my brush, lock it, flip a switch, and I have it here. So for people not seeing this clearly, there's a switch at the back. I just flip it upwards. There's a pneumatic collet that opens it up, and I can remove my router bit. As you can see, it's quite a long one. And I'm going to replace this by this router bit, which has a very specific color. Sometimes people look at it and says it's burnt, but no, it's just a coating that is a very specific color. So let me just insert this here, flip that switch, and when I remove my hand, that router bit is held tightly by the pneumatic collet. Now, the only thing that is left up to me is pressing online. What will happen is it will go to the ADC and reset its working depth. This is done every time you change that router bit. So doesn't matter if it's within a job, doesn't matter if it's before a job, after a job, it will always have to reset itself. So coming back to Dibond here, so Dibond, in this case, we're only going to route this. You can also V-groove route this to make folding lines. If you do this in software, it will ask you to put in the V-groove bit. It will reset the depth, then do the V-groove, then it will ask you to put in the bit used to route through the material, and then you just simply replace this, and it will just continue. So even within a job, it will automatically request the operator to change that bit. So this is available on both routers, so on the HF router and the standard router. However, it's more convenient on the HF router. So now my my router depth is set. I can re-engage my brush again. However, my brush was set to 19mm material, so I need to lower my brush. This is very easily done using the gauge and moving this all the way down. And on the other hand, what I need to do is refocus my camera. Now, refocusing the camera is quite easy and very quick. And we'll see this after I import my file. So going back again to my computer screen here. Thank you, Oliver. As you can see, I still have my coat hangers. When I do import file and I select my Dibond file, open, it will import that file again and immediately assign the correct job to it. Assign the correct material to it and assign the correct tool to my through-cut method. Now again, if you look here, the orientation is different. You can easily rotate 90 degrees in your software. Now, we're not going to route this complete board because that will take a few minutes. Let's go over to a short run. Short run is simply the file that I prepared earlier. So if I press output to sheet, again, it comes up, my camera. So before we change over to the split screen, I just wanted to show you the view of a non-focus camera. It looks slightly blurry. Now if we go back to the split screen, readjusting the focus is quite simple. Simply push on there, put this on your material and then focus it on your material and lock it. So it's as simple as that, and again, and all of a sudden that view is a lot crisper. Pressing apply will start reading those positions. Now, some of you might have noticed this nice barcode here. Yes, we are not using this for our webinar because we want to focus on this on in a later webinar. This is basically a way to automate your complete workflow. What happens here is basically your camera that is going to read that barcode, open up the correct file, and then immediately output this to your device. This will allow you to have a very automatic workflow. So this works for board materials, and this also works for roll material. This is done by adding the, let's say, barcode functionality to GoProduce. This is an additional license. However, this license can be used, this can be activated as a trial version if you want to, let's say, run this as a trial in GoProduce. So you simply activate a trial, which runs about 30 days. After that, those 30 days, you can decide whether or not to invest into that feature. So we're just finishing. As you can see, there are a few small things jumping out. This is normal. If you route small things and you have a vacuum cleaner, this will generate a lot of upwards force. This could be, let's say, avoided by, first of all, using what I like to call a downcut bit. This is a router bit that pushes all the debris downwards. The only drawback by using this is, of course, you get a lot of dirt on your bed of your machine that you need to clean up afterwards. Here, I don't want to use those small circles, so I just simply ignore them. If let's say you want to keep them, use a downcut bit. If you let's say want to use a different way of routing this without using a downcut bit, what I then suggest is to use some double-sided material on the small areas. So taking this out, as you can see, those edges are nice and smooth. There are no, let's say, no debris still there. There are no small fringes here. No, I call it sometimes hair. So it looks like my plastic has hair. This is something that can happen. to a lot of people, but this is because for routing you have two types of routing. You have climb routing and conventional routing. This is basically how the router advances compared to the router bit. So if it's advancing with the aid of the router bit, we're calling it climb. If it's pushing against the natural movement of the router, then we're calling this conventional. Now for Dibond or ACM, you need to do a test. The ones that are in our database all have been tested by us, and the correct advanced direction, climb or conventional, has been set. If you use, let's say, uncommon materials or foreign materials or new materials, please do a test, because you'll see by changing from climb to conventional, you get a different finish. We don't want people to complain, hey, this router bit gives me headaches because I have a very, let's say, dirty finish on the edge. It's just simply change over from climb to conventional.